I wanted to save that. Elena Herrada from the Detroit Board of Education. And I want to bring up Elena Herrada and Bill Wylie-Kellermann to come up and talk about an important trial that's coming up. Let's have a warm welcome. They were arrested for opposing the Jones Day contract of $4 million. It's now probably $20 million. Go ahead.
On the 50th anniversary of Dr. King's letter from a Birmingham jail, the City Council of Detroit voted on the contract for Jones Day to restructure not only the debt of the city, but the city itself. On that day, a whole group of people disrupted City Council. We sang, "We Shall Not Be Moved." We wouldn't quit singing. Joanne Watson and Brenda Jones, who voted against that contract, stayed with us through that entire time when other city council members had fled. Only two of us were eventually arrested, and we have a trial a week from today in which we want to invite you to. It's in 36th District Court before Judge Kenneth King at 8:30 a.m. We've asked for a jury trial because a jury is really, at this point, the last vestige of real democracy in the city. They have the power to vote guilty or not guilty, and we want to put the facts before them. Joanne has agreed to testify in that trial, as have others, and so we invite you to be there. I'm going to say a word about Elena Herrada and then give her the mic. My lawyer. My lawyer. We have fools for clients. We're our own lawyers. Elena Herrada the Honorable Elena Herrada is an elected member of the school board, and I guess I want to say that I trust elected officials who are sued by the state attorney general for being elected, who actually resist emergency management and are dragged into court for doing so. That's the kind of person that you want to elect, and it happens that she's running for state rep in the 6th District.
Thank you. I want to say, I have never been arrested before in my life, and I never intended to get arrested, but we had no choice that day in City Council. And Joanne Watson and Brenda Jones stayed with us because they were actually thought that we were going to be brutalized physically the way the rest of the city was brutalized, economically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, by the Jones Day contract and the criminals who are giving away our money that they never worked for. So I'm asking for people to come to court because we actually demanded a jury trial. They wanted to dismiss the case and they wanted it to disappear. They didn't want any attention to this at all. You haven't seen anything in the press at all about any arrest or any resistance to the Jones Day contract. But everybody in Detroit knows that we are being robbed. Jerry Goldberg has been amazing, and David Soul, the people who have stood up against us day after day after day in federal bankruptcy court. We're asking you to go to 36th District Court because we're putting Jones Day on trial. That's why we don't want them to dismiss our case. We don't want it to disappear. I don't want to go to jail. I'm trying to run a campaign to get elected. I'm not trying to get elected from jail. But if we have to, we will, because we are not going to pay fines for attempting to obstruct this corruption. We're not paying for that. They need to pay. Thank you.
Bill Vincent, again, what is the date? Elena, what is the date? Thursday. The date, again, we want to announce it.
27th, a week from today, 8:30 a.m.
Please be there. They need to see people in the city of Detroit there, of course. And right now we want to bring up our young people from the Detroit School of the Performing Arts. Vision, let's have a warm welcome for them. Our young people here in Detroit, let's hear it for them.
Help us.
The road is long, with many a winding turn that leads us to who knows where. But I'm strong enough to carry him. He ain't heavy. He's my brother. So on we go. His welfare is my concern. No burden is he to bear. Will be there. For I know he will never weigh me down. He ain't heavy. He's my brother. If I'm troubled at all, I'm troubled by sadness that everyone's heart isn't filled with the gladness of love for one another. It's a long, long road from which there is no return. But we're on our way to there, why not share? And the Lord doesn't weigh me down at all. He ain't heavy. He's my brother. He ain't heavy. He's my brother. He ain't heavy. Yes, he's my brother.
And let's hear it for his hands. And how can they be reached?
This is the Bell Ensemble from the Detroit School of the Arts. You heard about us in September when they were trying to take the arts out of the building, remember? We today have applications for your children to come to our school. Please make sure before you leave today to pick it up. You can contact us as Vision Bell Ensemble at the Detroit School of Arts. Ask Mrs. Valentine and they'll get you to me. But we need you to enroll your children in our school for art, dance, whatever you think your art is at DSA. We need your kids. Thank you.
All right. Let's hear from. And right now we want to bring up Reverend Rich Peacock on behalf of Peace Action. Let's hear it for them.
I want to hear you. Shalom. Salam. Peace. Shante. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. spoke the truth. A nation that continues year after year to spend more money on the military than on programs of spiritual uplift is approaching spiritual death. uplift. And so, does Congress pass Congressman John Year's jobs bill? No. Does Congress extend unemployment insurance? No. Does Congress put taxes where they are needed for food stamps? No. Does Lansing have a plan to repair our streets and potholes? No. Are there decent minimum wage laws and living wage laws coming down from Lansing or Washington? No. But there is a new 2014 budget coming from Washington, D.C. We are supposed to be cutting down nuclear weapons, but instead we are spending billions to modernize them. It's crazy. We're supposed to be getting our troops out of Afghanistan, but instead we're putting an extra $5 billion into Afghanistan for our troops. Isn't it crazy? We're supposed to be reducing Pentagon spending, but instead the Pentagon, as of December, will get a $20 billion relief check. Most Americans want to get out of Afghanistan fast. Most Americans want to preserve Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. Most Americans want jobs created now. But Pentagon spending is a very poor way to create jobs. Congress can put $1 billion into the Pentagon and get 11,000 jobs. Congress can put $1 billion into clean green energy and get 17,000 jobs. Or Congress can spend $1 billion in education and get 26,000 jobs. We need Washington politicians to move the money to programs of social uplift. Washington politicians must move the money from building bombs to repairing potholes. Washington politicians must move the money from the Pentagon building into our school buildings. That's right, that's right. As Congressman Conyers pointed out, this year, 2014, is an election year. Peace action, and you will ask every politician, will you move the money? Peace action doesn't care if you want to go to Lansing or Washington, D.C. The question is the same. Will you move the money? I want peace action and you to question every politician. Peace action, we are ready to come and be with you and train you, to organize you, to ask everyone, will you move the money? That's the question. Talk to me. Repeat after me. We who want to move the money will not rest until the money moves. We who want jobs will not rest until there are jobs. We who want justice will not rest until there's justice. We who want peace will not rest until there is peace. Thank you and God bless you.
Thanks. Reverend Chris Peacock on behalf of Peace Action in Michigan. I also want to recognize Mr. Rudy Simon, who is here in the audience. Rudy. Also, we have Carrie McGee, who is the chairperson of the Michigan Coalition for Human Rights, is also here. Rick Blocker, who is the new president of the Detroit Metro AFL-CIO. Rick, are you in the audience? Okay. All righty. And I also want to recognize our progressive lawyers from the National Lawyers Guild who are serving as legal observers today. They're always on the scene as the people in motion. And right now, I want to bring up another very important person here in the city of Detroit who was, in fact, very much involved in the Freedom Summer some 5 decades ago. She coordinated the regional legal work on behalf of the National Lawyers Guild in Jackson, Mississippi during that very, very violent and very turbulent period. And I want us to have a warm welcome for retired Judge Claudia Morcom.
Everybody, I wasn't going to say anything today, but I got so inspired by what the lawyers here who are working now on what is happening in our city are doing. I wanted to just brag. I went to Mississippi during the Freedom Summer when George Crockett had opened an office for the National Lawyers Guild. And we had been asked by SNCC to come down there, as other lawyers and medical people had been asked to come that summer. They knew it was going to be a terrible situation. And as it turned out, when Anna Diggs and I got off the plane in Jackson, Mississippi that evening, Judge Crockett met us at the airport with his staff, and the 3 civil rights workers had disappeared, and we were trying to call Congressman Diggs to get the FBI involved. Somebody to do something, of course. No one did. You know, there has to be a crime committed. We don't know anything about it, blah, blah, blah. I came back in that fall and lived in Mississippi for a year. I just wanted to say that what we were doing was trying to recruit lawyers and legal people to represent the kids who were being arrested on trumped up charges and the local people who were being arrested trying to go to vote. And there were over 50 lawyers from Detroit, black and white, who came down to work for a living. And they were wonderful. Not just from Detroit, but 50 from Detroit, and then from California, New York, and you name it, all over the world. I had a whole list of them, and I was going to give them to Dorothy later for you to look through them, because you're going to know a lot of them. But what I wanted to say was we were down there trying to get people registered to vote, representing them when they were being arrested on, as I said, all kinds of trumped up charges. But that was, what do they say, 5 decades ago? Tells you how old I am.
That's all right, baby. You're looking good.
But what's happening now, the Guild has really been in the forefront of all of our struggles. And what's happening is that this coming Saturday, they're having their anniversary. And guess who is going to be their honoree? We were trying to get people registered to vote so we could vote for people down there. And the new mayor, you got it, Chokwe Lumumba is going to be here. So it worked. All of our efforts did work in some respect, and I wanted to say that. I want to thank the Guild and all the lawyers and all the young people who went down there working for SNCC and everything else. Even at the Medical Committee for Human Rights, Dr. Alvin Hussan, they were all down there, and that was a tough time, but they did it. And we go through tough times a lot together. We're going to be going through tough times in Detroit together. Thank you.